Hi students, we are going to learn the last scene of the play The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. It is the first scene of Act 5 and the concluding scene of the play. And we can see that in this scene, every problem is solved and happiness is restored among the characters. Since it's a comedy, it should end on a happy note, and this scene does justice to the entire play. All the characters return to Belmont, that is Portia's house, and the scene begins in an avenue, a broad road in front of Portia's house. In the beginning of the scene, we can see that Lorenzo and Jessica, the lovers, are involved in a conversation. They are in a romantic mood and they are enjoying the moonlit night, the beauty of the moonlit night. And one by one, they are narrating different love stories. A famous couple are mentioned here. 4 different stories are mentioned by one. Lorenzo begins the conversation. Lorenzo, the moon shines bright in such a night as this. So here Lorenzo is recollecting a similar incident from the history. Another romantic couple, an incident that took place in their life in a similar night. So ഒരു moonlit night ആണ്. ഇതുപോലെ മൂൺ ബ്രൈറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഷൈൻ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്ന ഒരു നൈറ്റിൽ when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees, and at that time the sweet wind was kissing the trees very gently, very smoothly. So വളരെ സോഫ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് വിൻഡ് ട്രീസിനെ കിസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ആ ഒരു മർമറിങ് സൗണ്ട് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന ആ ഒരു moonlit bright നൈറ്റിൽ they did make no noise in such a night. Troilus, methinks, mounted the Trojan walls, and the trees were not making any noise. The trees were receiving the gentle kiss of the sweet wind, and they were not making any noise. They were enjoying it and standing there still. And in such a night, Troilus mounted, climbed up the Trojan walls. The Trojan walls, we have already seen the walls of the city of Troy. That is mentioned as the Trojan walls here, the high and steep walls of the Trojan city. ഇപ്പോൾ ആ ട്രോയ് സിറ്റിയുടെ വോൾസ് വളരെ സ്ട്രോങ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള വോൾസിനെയാണ് ഇവിടെ ട്രോയൻ വോൾസ് എന്ന് പറയുക. ആൻഡ് വി ഹാവ് ഓൾറെഡി ഹേർഡ് ദ സ്റ്റോറി ബിഹൈൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് ദാറ്റ് ദ കിങ് ഓഫ് ട്രോയ് he has asked to Poseidon and Apollo to build strong walls for the city, and he didn't pay them, and Poseidon has sent a sea monster to destroy the entire city. And to satisfy the sea monster, the king has to give up, sacrifice the life of his only daughter Hesione. So we have seen that story. Alcides and Hesione's story has been already mentioned in the play. And here the same Trojan walls, Troilus was climbing up the Trojan walls, and here Lorenzo is mentioning the story of the famous couple Troilus and Cressida. And we have to know who is Troilus and who is Cressida. Troilus was a Trojan prince who was taking part in the Trojan war. ഒരു Trojan prince ആയിരുന്നു ഈ Troilus എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ആൾ. And he fell in love with Cressida. Cressida was a beautiful woman, the daughter of a Trojan priest. And Cressida's father, the Trojan priest, he was defected to the Greek side. He was supporting the Greeks. So the battle was between the Trojans and the Greeks, and even though Cressida's father was a Trojan, he was supporting the Greeks. And Cressida's uncle Pantarus was always supporting Troilus in his love for Cressida, and he was there in between them, always helping them, supporting them in their love. And Cressida's father, since he was defected to the Greek side, he was supporting them. He was there with the Greek, and in exchange of an officer, a soldier, warrior, Cressida was sent from the Trojan side to the Greek tents, and the Greeks, they were setting free a Trojan warrior in exchange of Cressida. And Troilus was disappointed. He was completely collapsed. He was very sad, as Cressida has to go to the Greek tense, and Cressida promised Troilus that she would be faithful in the love. അപ്പോൾ ട്രോയിലസിനെ പിരിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഗ്രീക്ക് ടെൻസിലേക്ക് പോവുകയായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ എങ്കിലും ട്രോയിലസുമായിട്ടുള്ള ലവ് അതിൽ ഫെയ്ത്ത്ഫുൾ ആയിരിക്കുമെന്ന് പ്രോമിസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ക്രെസിഡ അങ്ങോട്ടേക്ക് പോകുന്നത്, ഗ്രീക്ക് ടെൻസിലേക്ക് പോകുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ഡയോമിഡസ്, എ ഗ്രീക്ക് വാരിയർ, came to take Cressida to the Greek tense. And unfortunately, Cressida was not able to be faithful in her love. She fell in love with Diomedes, and Troilus' love was unsuccessful. So here Troilus at night, like in a similar night, Troilus was climbing upon the Trojan walls and looking towards the Grecian tents where Cressida was there sleeping that night. Cressida was taken to the Greek tents and she was there, and Troilus, he was sleepless, he was very sad and disappointed, and he was looking towards the Grecian tents in disappointment. So here Troilus stands for unfulfilled love. He's a symbol of unfulfilled love here, and Cressida was not faithful in her love. And that is the first story mentioned here. Jessica says the next story. Jessica, in such a night did Thisbe fearfully overtrip the dew and saw the lion's shadow err himself and ran dismayed away. So Jessica says a story about Thisbe and Pyramus, a famous young couple of Babylonians who were in deep and sincere love with each other. Unfortunately, their families hated each other. They were not agreeing about their love. And these two, they tried to talk to each other through the crack in the wall that separated their houses. അപ്പോൾ രണ്ട് വീട്ടുകാർക്കും തമ്മിൽ ഇഷ്ടം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ അവരുടെ മാരേജിന് അവർ സമ്മതിക്കുകയില്ലായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ തമ്മിൽ സംസാരിക്കാൻ പോലും അവർക്ക് ലിമിറ്റേഷൻസ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ആൻഡ് വെൻ ദേ ഫൗണ്ട് ദാറ്റ് ഇറ്റ് വാസ് ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ട് ടു മൂവ് എഹെഡ്, ദേ പ്ലാൻഡ് ആൻഡ് ഡിസൈഡഡ് ടു റൺ അവേ, ടു ഇലോപ്പ്. ആൻഡ് as per their plan, Thisbe was waiting under a mulberry tree, and that was a place where they were supposed to meet. And unfortunately, a lioness came out wandering in that way, and it was a bloody jawed lioness. Blood stains were there in its teeth, and by seeing this ferocious animal, Thisbe was frightened, and she ran away screaming. And she left her shawl there, and the lioness tore it apart and was lying there with the shawl of Thisbe. അപ്പോൾ തിസ്ബി ലയനസിനെ കണ്ട് പേടിച്ച് ഓടിപ്പോകുമ്പോൾ തിസ്ബിയുടെ ഷോൾ അവിടെ ഇട്ടിട്ടാണ് പോകുന്നത്. ലയനസ് ഈ ഷോള് വലിച്ചു കയറി അതിന് പുറത്ത് കയറി കിടക്കുകയായിരുന്നു. അറ്റ് ദാറ്റ് ടൈം Pyramus reached under the mulberry tree, and he had seen that the lioness has torn apart the shawl of Thisbe, and he believed that Thisbe has been devoured by the lioness. Thisbe a lioness konnu ennu thanne vishwasichittu he was completely disappointed, extremely sad, and he stabbed himself with his own sword and died. സ്വന്തം കഠാര എടുത്ത് കുത്തി അയാൾ മരിക്കുകയാണ് അവിടെ തന്നെ. ആൻഡ് ആഫ്റ്റർ സം ടൈം Thisbe came back to the place and had seen that Pyramus has died, and she was not able to bear that, and she took the same sword and killed herself. And mulberry ഇതിന് റെഡ് കളർ ഉണ്ടായത് ഈ ബ്ലഡ് സ്റ്റെയിൻ വീണിട്ടാണ് എന്നാണ് പറയപ്പെടുക. അതിന് മുൻപ് ഇറ്റ് വാസ് വൈറ്റ് ഇൻ കളർ എന്നാണ് പറയുക ഇൻ ഗ്രീക്ക് മിത്തോളജി. സോ ദിസ് വാസ് സ്റ്റോറി ഓഫ് Thisbe ആൻഡ് Pyramus, the young Babylonian couple who were in love. They loved each other very much, but their love became unfulfilled because of the hatred their families had towards each other, and also the bad luck that struck upon them in the form of a lioness. The bad luck struck upon their lives, and they both died in their love. So unfulfilled love ന്റെ സിമ്പിൾ ആയിട്ടാണ് തിസ്ബിയും പൈറാമസും നിലനിൽക്കുന്നത്. And then Lorenzo says another story. In such a night stood Dido with a willow in her hand upon the wild sea banks and wafted her love to come again to Carthage. So Lorenzo mentions another couple, that is Dido and Aeneas. ഡിഡോയുടെയും ഏനിയാസിൻ്റെയും കഥയാണ് അടുത്തതായിട്ട് ലൊറെൻസോ പറയുക. ഡിഡോ was the daughter of Belus, who was a king of Tyre. ടയറിലെ രാജാവായിരുന്ന ബേലസിൻ്റെ മകളായിരുന്നു Dido. And Dido was having a brother also. His name was Pygmalion. And Belus decided that after his death, the royal power must be shared between Dido and Pygmalion equally. ഡിഡോയും പിഗ്മാലിയനും ചേർന്ന് രാജ്യഭരണം നടത്തണമെന്നാണ് ബേലസ് ആഗ്രഹിച്ചിരുന്നത്. പക്ഷേ ആഫ്റ്റർ ദ ഡെത്ത് ഓഫ് her father Belus, Pygmalion betrayed Dido. He seized the throne and killed Dido's husband. Dido was helpless and she had to run to the shores of North Africa with her followers. അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ നിന്ന് ഡിഡോ ഓടിപ്പോവാണ് നോർത്ത് ആഫ്രിക്കയിലേക്ക്. And there she bought some land from the local ruler named Larbus and built a city there named Carthage. Carthage എന്ന പേരിൽ ഒരു സിറ്റി അവിടെ ഡിഡോ ബിൽഡപ്പ് ചെയ്യുകയാണ് and became its queen. And the Trojan hero named Aeneas, his ship was wrecked on the shore near this Carthage. ഈ കാർത്തേജിനടുത്ത് വെച്ച് ഏനിയസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു ട്രോജൻ വാരിയർ ലീഡറാണ്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ഷിപ്പ് റെക്ഡായി തകരുകയാണ്. ആൻഡ് ഹി കെയിം ടു കാർത്തേജ്. ഡിഡോ വെൽക്കംഡ് ഹിം and she fell in love with him. And they enjoyed love, and Dido believed that Aeneas would be marrying her and will be with her forever. But after some time, Aeneas got the message to go back. He told Dido that he has to leave the place. Dido was actually devastated. She was afraid that she is going to lose him forever. And she requested him to stay with her, but he was helpless. He cannot do that. And she gave them adieu. And when she saw the ships are out to sea for Italy, she ordered a funeral pyre to be built. ഒരു ചിത ഒരുക്കാനായിട്ട് പറയുകയാണ്, ഒരു വുഡൻ സ്ട്രക്ചർ ടു bury the dead body. And she cursed Aeneas for betraying her and stabbed herself after climbing upon the funeral pyre. And Dido is always chanting in the Greek mythology as the symbol of forsaken, abandoned or deserted love. നിഷേധിക്കപ്പെട്ട സ്നേഹത്തിൻ്റെ പ്രതീകം, സിമ്പിളായിട്ടാണ് ഡിഡോ ഹിസ്റ്ററിയിൽ, പഴയ കഥകളിൽ നിലനിൽക്കുന്ന അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ക്യാരക്ടറായിട്ടാണ് ഡിഡോ നിലനിൽക്കുക. സോ ദിസ് വാസ് എ സ്റ്റോറി ഓഫ് ഡിഡോ ആൻഡ് ഏനിയസ്. And that is also an unsuccessful love story. Dido has loved Aeneas very sincerely, but she has to die at last. And Jessica again narrates another story. In such a night, Medea gathered the enchanted herbs that did renew old Aeson. So we had already seen the story of Medea and Jason in the previous scenes of the same play. And Jason was the prince of Lolcus and Medea was the princess of Colchis. And Jason came to Medea's country, Medea's place, Colchis, to get the golden fleece. അപ്പോൾ ജെയ്സൻ്റെ അങ്കിൾ പീലിയസ് ജെയ്സൻ്റെ ഫാദറിനെ കൊന്നിട്ട് ബിട്രേ ചെയ്ത് ജെയ്സണിനെ he is sending Jason to Colchis to get the golden fleece. That is a story. And Peleus was sure that Jason would be dying there because it's very difficult to get the golden fleece. A fire-spitting dragon is guarding this golden fleece, so he won't be getting it. He was sure about that. But Medea, she fell in love with Jason, and she was an enchantress who knows the magical things. She has magical herbs, all the magical qualities she is having, and she helped Jason to get the golden fleece. And she went with Jason to his place Lolcus, and when she reached there, she helped Jason to give life to his father Aeson. What she has done is she boiled some herbs, enchanted herbs in a pot, and the remainings of his father Aeson she has added to it, and Aeson was given life. And that's how Aeson, Jason's father, was brought back to life. And then Medea made Peleus' daughters, Jason's uncle Peleus' daughters, to believe that she could give youth to their father if they help her. And with their help, Medea managed to kill Peleus, cut him into pieces and put him in a pot and boiled him. And he was had a gruesome death in that way. So Medea helped Jason in all ways to help him to get back the life of his father, and also killed Peleus, his enemy, his uncle. But the furious people, they made them run away from the place, from their country, Iolcus, and Medea went with Jason to another place named Corinth, and they started a life there. They married and they lived there. But after some years, another king persuaded Jason to marry his daughter, and Jason was willing to do so to get the power of that country, and he betrayed Medea, who helped him once. And Medea became furious when she came to know about this, and she killed both the princess and Jason by giving poison to them. So this was the story of Medea and Jason. That is also not a successful love story, and unfortunately, even though Jessica and Lorenzo, they are sharing true love, sincere love, the stories that are mentioned here, when they are enjoying the moonlit night, they are enjoying their love there, they are in a romantic mood, but all the stories that they are saying are about unsuccessful love. And here Medea and Jason, their story is also such a one. And Lorenzo, in such a night did Jessica steal from the wealthy Jew, and with an unthrift love did run from Venice as far as Belmont. And now Lorenzo comes back to their own story, Lorenzo and Jessica's story, and he says here, in a similar night Jessica has stolen from the wealthy Jew, from her own father Shylock. She had taken everything, money, jewels and everything, and with an unthrift love did run from Venice, and with a person who was an unthrift love. Unthrift means prodigal. A prodigal lover who was a prodigal person. So she ran with such a person from Venice and came to Belmont. And Jessica, in such a night did young Lorenzo swear he loved her well, and in a similar night Lorenzo, a young man, promised her that he would be loving her truly, sincerely, stealing her soul. And by saying so, he had actually stolen the heart of that woman, Jessica. Her soul was stolen with many vows of faith, because many promises had been given by the person, promises of faith that he would be faithful, he would be loyal in love. He had promised so, and stole the heart, stole the soul of that woman, and never a true one. And all those vows, all those promises were never true. ഒരു വാക്ക് പോലും പാലിച്ചിട്ടില്ല, ഒന്നും സത്യമായിരുന്നില്ല എന്ന്, like blaming him, Jessica is saying here. And Lorenzo, in such a night did pretty Jessica, like a little shrew, slander her love, and he forgave it her. And Lorenzo is saying here, in a similar night, that same night is mentioned here. ഇതുപോലെ ഒരു രാത്രിയിൽ, അപ്പോൾ ആ രാത്രി തന്നെയാണ് പറയുക, did pretty Jessica. So what Jessica is doing now? She is blaming Lorenzo. So beautiful Jessica, like a little shrew, like a little quarrelsome woman, a woman who is having a quarreling nature. So like a woman, Jessica slander her love, slander, speak bad about her love. So now Jessica is speaking, saying something against the love, her beloved one, that is against Lorenzo, and he forgave it her. And her lover, the person who loves her the most, is ready to forgive her. അയാൾ അത് ക്ഷമിക്കുകയും ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നു. ജെസിക്ക അയാളെക്കുറിച്ച് മോശമായിട്ട് പറയുന്നു, പക്ഷെ അയാളത് ക്ഷമിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്ന് ലോറൻസോ അവിടെ ഹിസ് ടോക്കിംഗ് അബൌട്ട് ഹിംസെൽഫ് ഹിയർ. And then Jessica says, I would outnight you did nobody come. I would have surely beaten you up. I would have failed you in this game. So it's like a game that they are doing this, saying, they're narrating the stories one by one. And Jessica says, I would have outnight you, beaten you up if nobody has come. But hark, but listen, I hear the footing of a man. Somebody has come outside. So let's see who it is. And if he has not come, I would have surely beaten you. ഞാൻ നിങ്ങളെ ഈ കഥകൾ പറഞ്ഞ് തോൽപ്പിച്ചേനെ, ഈ ഗെയിമിൽ ഞാൻ തന്നെ ജയിച്ചേനെ, ആരും പുറത്ത് വന്നില്ലായിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ എന്ന് പറയാണ്. And enter Stefano. A servant comes. His name is Stefano. Lorenzo, who comes so fast in silence of the night? So who is coming so fast on such a silent night, very fastly? Who is here outside? Stefano, a friend I am. So he's saying that a friend is here outside. Lorenzo, a friend? What friend? Your name, I pray you, friend. A friend you are. What is the name of this friend? I request you to tell the name of you. And Stefano, Stefano is my name. My name is Stefano, and I bring word my mistress will before the break of day be here at Belmont. So I have an information for you. I bring a message for you that my mistress, that is Portia, will before the break of day. That means in the early morning itself, she will be here at Belmont. She does stray about by Holy Crosses. So up to this time, what she was doing, she was straying about. She was moving by Holy Crosses from church to church, from shrine to shrine, from a holy place to another. She was moving up to this time, and where she kneels and prays for happy wedlock hours. For what purpose she has gone there? She was kneeling there, she was praying there for happy wedlock hours. She was praying for a happy married life. അപ്പോൾ നല്ലൊരു വിവാഹ ജീവിതത്തിന് വേണ്ടി പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കാനായിട്ട് എല്ലാ വിശുദ്ധ സ്ഥലങ്ങളിലും ഇങ്ങനെ സഞ്ചരിച്ചുകൊണ്ടേ ഇരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കാനായിട്ട്. സോ ലൊറെൻസോ, who comes with her and who else with her? Stefano, none but a holy hermit and her maid. She is coming here with a holy hermit, a monk will be there with her, and also her maid Nerissa will be there with her. I pray you, is my master yet returned? And I want to know whether my master has returned yet. Master എത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ എന്ന് അന്വേഷിക്കുകയാണ്. And Lorenzo, he is not, nor we have not heard from him. No, he has not yet come, and we have not get any information about him. We didn't get any information about him. But go in, I pray thee, Jessica. Okay, Jessica, let's go inside. I request you, and ceremoniously let us prepare some welcome for the mistress of the house. And we have to do all the ceremonies. We have to arrange all the ceremonies to welcome the mistress to the house. We have to welcome her. We have to give a grand welcome to her. And let's make all the arrangements. Enter Launcelot. Launcelot, sola sola, wo ha ho, sola sola. So he is making the sound of a horn. That means that he has to announce something. So a messenger would be using the horn or trumpet to before announcing something. So he is here to give an information. Lorenzo, who calls? Who is there outside? Launcelot, sola. He says hello, addresses the person. Did you see Master Lorenzo? Have you seen Lorenzo? Master Lorenzo, sola sola, hello hello. Master Lorenzo, are you there? Lorenzo, leave hollowing man, here. Please stop shouting. I am here in front of you. Launcelot, sola, where? Hello, where are you? He is asking. Lorenzo, I am here. ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ തന്നെ ഉണ്ട് എന്ന് ലോറൻസോ റിപ്പീറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് പറയുകയാണ്. ആൻഡ് ലൗൺസ്ലോട്ട്, ടെൽ ഹിം ദർ ഇസ് എ പോസ്റ്റ് കം ഫ്രം മൈ മാസ്റ്റർ വിത്ത് ഹിസ് ഹോൺ ഫുൾ ഓഫ് ഗുഡ് ന്യൂസ്. ആൻഡ് ഐ ഹാവ് എ പോസ്റ്റ്. ദർ ഇസ് എ പോസ്റ്റ്. എ പോസ്റ്റ് മീൻസ് എ മെസ്സഞ്ചർ ഇസ് ഹിയർ ഫ്രം മൈ മാസ്റ്റർ ഫ്രം ബെസാനിയോ. എ മെസ്സഞ്ചർ ഹാസ് ഓൾറെഡി കം with a song, with a trumpet, with a horn in his hand, full of good news, and he is here to announce good things, good news. My master will be here early morning. So before morning, my master will come here. Exit, and he leaves the stage. Lorenzo, sweet soul, let's in. Let's go inside. Sweet soul, he's addressing Jessica. And they expect their coming, and we have to wait for their arrival. And yet no matter. And what's that matter? Why should we go in? We need not have to go inside. We have to enjoy this night here itself.